Let's go.
Question on the board says 28.8 cm cube of nitrogen at 15 degrees Celsius is cooled to 0 degrees Celsius at constant pressure. The new volume of nitrogen is... Alright, so from the question here, we have seen that something is constant. You see the word constant pressure, know that this is Charles' law. Okay, so let's state this law mathematically. The law states that the volume V of a fixed mass of gas varies directly to its temperature, provided pressure remains constant. Now let's remove this proportionality sign. We have that V is equal to KT. As I'm removing this proportionality sign, I introduce an equality sign and a constant. Okay, so now let's make this constant the subject of formula. How do we do that? We divide both sides by temperature. All right. Okay, so as I'm dividing both sides by temperature, we notice that the temperature here will cancel the temperature here. What is now remaining is that V all over T is equal to K. Alright, so this is our Charles' law. We are going to rewrite the formula to have that V1 all over T1 is equal to V2 all over T2. Where V1 here is the initial volume and T1 is the initial temperature. V2 is the final volume and T2 the final temperature. Now let's spell out the parameters that is given to us in the equation. So the parameters are volume. V1 that is given to us is 28.8 cm cube. How did I know that this is volume? This is V1 because of the unit that is attached. Okay, so there's another thing that is given to us here in degrees Celsius. That is our T1 is 15 degrees Celsius. Okay. Another thing that is given to us here, this is T2. T2 is given to us to be 0 degrees Celsius. Okay. And we are asked the new volume of nitrogen. So we are asked for V2. Alright, so we are not going to use this temperature in degrees Celsius. We are going to convert this temperature from degrees Celsius to Kelvin. How do you do that? By adding 273 plus 273 will convert this value from degrees Celsius to Kelvin. So we'll have that T2 will now be equal to 273. Okay, we also have to convert this 15 degrees Celsius to Kelvin by adding 273 plus 273. So the answer will give us 288 Kelvin. So now our T1 is 288 Kelvin and our T2 is 273. So what we are looking for in this formula now is the V2. So let's make V2 the subject of formula by doing cross multiplication. Okay, so now let's cross multiply. We said that V1 times T2 is equal to, okay, V2 times T1. Okay, we are looking for V2. So we'll divide both sides by T1. Since we are looking for V2. So T1 here will cross T1 here. V2 is remaining. So we have that V2 is equal to V1 times T2 all over T1. Now we are going to substitute our parameters here. So our V1 here was 28.8 cm cube times our T2 here was given to be 273 Kelvin. Let's divide it by T1. T1 was 288 Kelvin. Okay, so 28.8 times 273 will give us 7862.4 divided by 288. When you press your calculator, well, 7862.4 divided by 288 will give us 27.3 cm cube. Remember, Kelvin cancelled Kelvin here. So what was remaining was our option here, 27.3, becomes the answer to this question. You see how questions like this can be solved with ease. Thank you for watching.